Now you need to remember who you are. A Dupree woman. Find your inner strength.
Once we launch my purse line, we'll be on our way to giving the Kardashians a run for their money. I'm gonna shake things up.
A cycle of anger isn't healthy.
I'll be healthy again as soon as I make a couple of cheaters pay for blowing up my life.
There were a number of times when you or a member of your family needed a favor. This is a situation.
Tomas meets up with Hayley in the hallway, and they discuss the attack. They move along to discussing the Lynette of it all, and Tomas's questions. He mentions the Lynette of it all, and says he thought her delivering papers was blurring lines. Tomas digs the hole deeper before Hayley reminds him who he is and who she is. As Hayley gets louder, Bill walks out and asks what the hell is going on. He pulls them into the office, and Hayley says Tomas accused her of going rogue. Bill shuts it down and says it's time for Hayley to go home and calls Caroline to come in. She embraces Hayley, and Bill asks her to return his wife to the hotel. With that, they exit and Hayley leaves with a big smile on her face. Bill goes after Tomas a bit, who says he simply felt bad Hayley got hurt delivering papers for his client. Tomas had no clue how close Lynette and Hayley were. Bill says he needs to understand his role in the office. He likes Tomas but says his job is to make his life easier, not more difficult. After Tomas leaves, he makes a call and asks someone to meet up. Bill wants Joey to track down the guy who attacked Hayley and notes the cops have no leads. He will be grateful, aka in his debt, if he can take care of the situation. Joey likes the deal and agrees to it. Randy arrives to see Joey, who tells him about Hayley's attack. Joey assumes he already knows, and Randy confirms. They go over the details, and Joey says they are tasked with finding the culprit. Randy flashes back to connecting with Hayley and the Lynette of it all. In real time, Joey says Bill is beside himself and assures Randy feels the same with as close as he is to Mrs. Hamilton. Joey gives Randy his marching orders and notes he thinks the Hamilton issue is much closer to home than Bill thinks. With that, he makes his exit. Danny and Nicole have sissy time on beyond the gates. Danny arrives at Nicole's office to chit-chat. She says it smells divine, and Nicole pulls out the latest Febreze scent. Danny wants to get into seeing Shanice and how she is certain Ted is headed towards relationship land. She is way more annoyed with the situation than Nicole. She admits she didn't expect to see Ted with someone she actually likes. Nicole admits Ted doesn't have the same role in her future than he did before. She is kind of liking this part of her divorce. Danny gets into the Leslie of it all and says the confrontation was glorious. Further, she does give Ted some credit for not getting involved with a horror show yet again. Danny gets back to Shanice and wants to make sure they don't hate her. Nicole says they both like her and leaves it alone. Danny moves along to saying Shanice has two sisters who grew up with pictures of her on their wall. Nicole is thrilled her sister the supermodel is back. Danny makes mention of how many Duprees they have around as family and how few folks Andre has. Nicole gets it and realizes she wants to turn Ted and Shanice into their couple friends. Nicole is down as long as it keeps Ted up out of her dating game. Danny wonders which bachelor is winning that particular game. They talk a bit about Nicole's love life, and she says there could even be a bachelor number 3. Danny knows Nicole doesn't want to catch feelings, but says sometimes have a way of catching you. Shanice and Derek connect. Shanice and Ted are at Orphe Jean's recalling their Valentine's Day and the Leslie of it all. Even so, Shanice thinks it was one of the more romantic evenings of her life. Just then, Derek walks in with Tavia and they take a seat whilst Shanice watches. Afterwards, Ted comes back to say he has to head to the hospital to help out Carlton. Derek and Tavia chat back and forth about their exes and then get into a little firehouse gossip. Derek says he misses being at the firehouse and Tavia says no one can replace him. Tavia gets a call and must go to deal with her sister's kids. She is grateful he asked her out and they agree to connect again soon. Afterwards, Shanice and Derek connect and take a seat. Shanice tells Derek all about her night with Ted and then they get into Derek's date with Tavia. They chat about his lack of a job, and Derek mentions Leslie's offer. Despite her being crazy, Shanice says he should go for it. Leslie won't be involved in the day-to-day, and he needs to get back to the business of saving people. She also notes he should give Tavia a second looks as she was staring at him like he was the tastiest of snacks. Hot Grayson walks onto the floor at Garland Memorial to chat with Ashley. She takes him aside and gives him a folder with all kinds of information about assisted living facilities for his mother. She talks about a particular facility and how it would be perfect for someone with Parkinson's. Grayson says none of this information is of use to him. Grayson says a lab tech with student loans can't afford such therapeutic luxuries. Ashley wants them to put their heads together and figure things out. Grayson is annoyed and Ted arrives at the hospital and heads off to scrub in. Carlton catches up with Ashley and apologizes for being a douche canoe a few days prior. All is good, and they get into the Nicole of it all. Ashley advises him to be less eager as he is oh so familiar to Nicole and Kyle is brand spanking new. Carlton thanks her for her advice, and Ashley heads out to prep his or. Hot Grayson returns to speak with Ashley and apologizes for being a jerk. She admits she went way overboard when trying to help his mother. Caroline and Hayley arrive back at the hotel and get into the Tomas of it all. Caroline tells Hayley she got raked over the coals for treating his wife as an errand girl. Hayley apologizes for causing trouble as she didn't know any of this would happen. Caroline says Hayley may have been the one to take the punch, but Bill feels it just as much. Nicole sprays Febreze across her office. How I've missed the spray. When Carlton arrives to follow up on his referral. She pushes past the topic and asks if he wants to go to the theater together that very evening. Carlton says he would love to, but has already seen it. He thinks she should definitely go and heads out to hit the oar. A heated country club showdown, hard truths about undercover life, and an unexpected gesture send emotions soaring in Fairmont Crest. The Thursday, February 19th, spoilers for Beyond the Gates focus on Leslie and Anita getting into it in the middle of the country club. And their confrontation has unfortunate consequences for Anita. Meanwhile, Elon schools Jacob on the art of going deep undercover. And Naomi surprises Hayley. BTG's weekly video preview features a quick look at a heartbreaking situation. It involves Anita, Tamara Tunie, and Vernon, Clifton Davis, at the country club, and Leslie is there, too. Apparently, Leslie, Trisha Mangrant, ruins Anita's lunch and, unfortunately, the stress will push Anita's health issues into the open. Leslie probably thinks she can serve up an extra dose of drama after her disastrous Valentine's Day, when she ended up all alone. She had to watch Shanice, Ernestine Johnson, and Ted Keith D. Robinson on a date. On top of that, Shanice and Anita's daughter, Danny, Karla Mosley, confronted her at Uptown and ran her off. Oh, and while Leslie thought Marcel, Daryl W., Handy, would join her, he refused because he was working, and that wasn't the type of relationship they had anyway. This sets the stage for a country club confrontation, with Leslie potentially taking no prisoners. When Anita stumbles in the wake of the showdown, she may no longer be able to keep her cancer diagnosis a secret.